From the moment of birth, every soul enters this world carrying a hidden code, a sequence of vibrations written in numbers that whisper of destiny, purpose, and the long path of becoming. For some, that number is gentle, reflective, or filled with dreams of harmony. For others, it burns like a flame of independence or flows like the tides of emotion. But for those born under the mark of life path number 8, the journey is one of power, responsibility, and the mastery of the material world. This is the path of strength and authority, a path both feared and revered, for it is bound to the great law of cause and effect, to karma itself, and to the challenge of wielding influence without being consumed by it. To walk the path of the 8 is to learn the dance between spirit and matter, to command the physical without losing sight of the eternal, and to rise again and again like the phoenix, each time stronger than before.
The number 8 has always been seen as a symbol of infinity, its shape a continuous loop with no beginning and no end, flowing eternally in perfect balance. It is the rhythm of cycles, the breath of creation that knows that what rises must eventually fall, and what falls will rise again. In classical numerology, it is the number most closely aligned with power, ambition, leadership, and the material plane. Those who carry it as their life path are born with an inner sense of authority, a commanding presence that is felt even before it is spoken. They carry themselves with a natural magnetism, a quiet force that draws respect, sometimes even fear, and often recognition. People sense instinctively that these souls are not here to live small lives. They are builders, architects, and leaders of systems and empires, whether on a grand scale of nations and corporations, or within the personal kingdoms of family and community. Their very essence whispers of dominion, mastery, and the pursuit of greatness.
Yet the power of the 8 is not given freely. It is tested, forged, and tempered in the fires of experience. Life rarely grants them ease. Instead, they face challenges that seem designed to strengthen their will and sharpen their determination. They learn early that nothing of true value comes without effort, and that responsibility is the price of influence. While others may stumble once and retreat, the 8 is called to rise from every fall. Their life is a testimony to resilience, for each setback becomes a stepping stone toward mastery. They are taught again and again the laws of discipline, perseverance, and vision. It is through the weight of obstacles that their true strength emerges.
The strengths of the 8 are as undeniable as they are formidable. These are individuals who possess immense drive, a clarity of vision, and the ability to turn dreams into reality. They are not content with idle fantasy or half-finished ideas. What they imagine, they build. They have a talent for organization, for structure, for seeing the blueprint where others see only chaos. They are practical, efficient, and determined, with a work ethic that can move mountains. More than this, they are natural leaders, often rising to positions of authority without needing to strive for them consciously. People look to them for guidance, for stability, and for direction. Their confidence inspires trust, and their determination commands loyalty. In many ways, they are like the generals and rulers of the numerological world, steering the course of events with their vision and their will.
But this strength comes with its shadows. The challenges of the 8 are as heavy as the gifts they bear. With power comes the temptation of control, and with ambition comes the risk of greed. Many born under this path must wrestle with the darker aspects of authority, arrogance, domination, manipulation, and the relentless pursuit of wealth or recognition. They may be so driven to succeed that they forget the softer, more spiritual aspects of life, sacrificing love and inner peace at the altar of achievement. They may struggle with a fear of vulnerability, choosing to wear the armor of authority rather than risk the intimacy of the heart. In their pursuit of control, they can sometimes become enslaved by the very things they sought to master: money, status, or power itself. The eight must learn that true authority is not about domination, but about balance, service, and the responsible use of influence.
Karma walks hand in hand with the eight. More than any other life path, theirs is entwined with the great law of cause and effect. The universe seems to demand integrity from them, and when they stray from it, the consequences are swift and undeniable. If they misuse their power, if they exploit others or act from selfishness, they will find themselves brought low, sometimes dramatically, until the lesson is learned. This is why the journey of the eight so often involves cycles of rise and fall, triumph and loss, fortune and ruin. These experiences are not punishments, but initiations, each one teaching them how to wield power with wisdom. The true mastery of the eight is not simply to accumulate wealth or status, but to align their material success with spiritual integrity, to become channels through which abundance flows to uplift not just themselves, but others as well. In relationships, the eight can be both a source of great strength and a challenge to those who walk beside them. Their partners often feel their commanding presence, their drive, and their intensity. On one hand, this creates a sense of safety and stability. An eight can be a rock, a provider, a builder of a shared future that is secure and abundant. They bring a seriousness to love, a commitment that is grounded and enduring. Yet, at the same time, their drive for achievement can overshadow intimacy. They may neglect the emotional needs of a partner, prioritizing work, success, or external recognition over the inner world of the heart. Their challenge is to learn vulnerability, to open the fortress of their soul, and allow love to soften their edges. When they do, they become partners of immense loyalty and devotion, capable of building not only empires in the outer world, but sanctuaries of love in the inner one. Friendship with an eight often means aligning with someone who is protective, reliable, and commanding. They are the ones who will step in during a crisis, take charge when others falter, and offer guidance rooted in practical wisdom. Yet, they can sometimes intimidate or overwhelm those who are more sensitive, as their energy is so strong and their opinions so firm. They must learn to temper their natural authority with patience, listening as much as they lead, so that their friendships become balanced exchanges rather than arenas of dominance. Spiritually, the eight walks a path that is deeply tied to the material plane, yet ultimately seeks transcendence. Their lesson is not to reject the physical world, but to master it without being mastered by it. They are here to learn that money, power, and authority are not ends in themselves, but tools for greater purpose. When aligned with spirit, the eight becomes a steward of abundance, a leader who channels resources towards the upliftment of others. They become wise rulers, philanthropists, and visionaries who recognize that true success is measured not only by personal gain, but by the legacy they leave behind. Their spirituality is grounded, practical, and embodied, teaching them that the divine is present not only in prayer and meditation, but in the everyday acts of building, creating and leading.
The evolution of the eighth soul is a story of transformation. In their early years, many eights struggle with feelings of limitation, frustration, or being held back. They may experience financial difficulties, power struggles, or challenges with authority figures. These are the training grounds of their destiny, the crucibles in which their strength is forged. As they mature, they begin to rise, often through sheer determination and relentless effort. They rise, they fall, they rise again. Each time they grow wiser, more disciplined, more aware of the responsibilities that come with power. In their later years, the most evolved eights become figures of immense respect, not because they demanded it, but because they earned it through integrity, perseverance, and service. They become living examples of balance between material success and spiritual wisdom, embodying the true infinity of the number 8, the eternal flow between giving and receiving, power and humility, matter and spirit.
Archetypes of the 8 can be found throughout history and myth. They are the kings and queens, the rulers and judges, the warriors who built empires, and the leaders who guided civilizations. But they are also the reformers, the builders of movements, the philanthropists who used wealth for the betterment of humanity. They embody the archetype of Saturn, the planet of discipline, authority, and structure, teaching the lessons of responsibility and karma. They echo the myths of rulers who fell through hubris, only to rise again in humility, learning that true sovereignty is service. Their path is not easy, but it is one of immense significance, for they shape the structures upon which societies stand. For those who find themselves born under the path of the 8, the invitation is profound. You are not here to live a small life. You are not here to drift or to hide. You are here to rise, to build, to lead, and to master. But you are also here to learn humility, to remember that power without compassion is tyranny, and that wealth without generosity is poverty of the soul. You are called to walk the fine line between ambition and integrity, to carry the sword of authority with honor, and to recognize that your true greatness lies not in what you control, but in what you create for the greater good.
The journey of the 8 is a sacred dance between destiny and choice, between the material and the spiritual, between the heights of success and the depths of humility. Each step teaches balance, each cycle of rise and fall brings wisdom, and each moment of mastery opens the door to greater service. To be an 8 is to carry the fire of kings and queens, but also the responsibility of shepherds and stewards. It is to stand as a bridge between heaven and earth, manifesting the unseen into the seen and turning visions into reality. It is to know that life is not measured by fleeting triumphs, but the lasting impact one leaves upon the world.
And so, if you are an 8, or if you love an 8, remember this: beneath the armor of strength lies a heart that longs for connection, and behind the drive for success lies a soul seeking purpose. The cycles of your life are not punishments, but initiations, each one shaping you into the ruler you are meant to be, not a ruler of others, but a ruler of self, of destiny, of the balance between matter and spirit. Embrace your path with courage, walk it with integrity, and you will discover that the infinity of the 8 is not just a symbol, but a living truth, that you are part of an eternal flow of creation, power, and transformation, destined to rise, to serve, and to shine.